This is Jewel's Cave outside. We're gonna have a tour here soon. Margaret River, Western Australia, guys. There's no signal here, so I'm taking video, but I cannot do live. It's just cut my internet off. Thanks for watching.
It's called a solution pipe. So it's created by a tree up on the surface, drilling its root through the ceiling. Here you can see some tree roots here. That's the root of a marri tree. That's the root of a carry tree, that twisty one there.
Is it still alive up top?
This marri tree isn't. This marri tree's actually died. You can see the roots starting to rot away. Most of those caves are what's called a tunnel cave. So that's where an underground river flows through the limestone. So it carves out a cave in a long skinny shape like a tunnel. But you'll notice here in Jewel we're not in the shape of a tunnel. This is what's called a phreatic cave. So basically what happened here, try to imagine this was all full of soft limestone, but the water table used to be up the top as well. So as the water table's lowered over the years, it's dissolved away the floor, dissolved away the floor, dissolved away the floor. So this cave gradually just got deeper, 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 till we've come down here, and now we've hit the granite. So this cave can't get any deeper. We're out of the limestone and on the granite. So phreatic caves, rather than being shaped like a tunnel, usually shaped a bit more like an octopus. You have this big head or body of the octopus in the middle, and then when the water hits the granite, it starts to spread out and make these long, skinny tunnels, like octopus's tentacles, I guess. So for example, if you look here, this tunnel here goes for half a kilometre. It never gets any taller than that. Doesn't open up to any big chambers, so you have to crawl for half a kilometre to get to the end of that tunnel. So yeah, as we walk through the cave, you'll see lots of these tunnels at the bottom of the cave. You don't see them up the walls and stuff. It's where the water hits the granite, starts to spread out. And you'll notice there is no formations on the bottom of the cave, so we know there has been water in here till recent times. And if you look on the wall over here, can you see some little scratch marks on the wall? That's where about 500 years ago, a poor little possum fell down that solution pipe. He wandered around the dark, he fell in the water here, he swam across the water, that's where he was scratching on the wall trying to get out of the water. Yeah, if you fell down that solution pipe, there was no way out really, so he stayed in the cave.
Oh.
Did they find any remains that was like washed out, probably any bones in the rocks?
We found about 200 skeletons in this cave of animals that have fallen down that solution pipe. Mammoth Cave is the big one for skeletons. They've got a much bigger entrance. So often animals, if they're sick or injured, they'll go into a cave to hide. And often they don't, until they get better, and often they don't get better. So they found 10,000 skeletons in that cave. Well, we've only found about 200. Did you guys notice this stuff on the way down? Yeah. Does it look like something else you see in nature? Coral, good.
Wow.
We call this coral crystal.
Beautiful.
So to help your imagination see this coral, we do have a lighting effect, so let's come back over this way.
That's
So
beautiful.
You've got to imagine you're under the sea looking at some coral.
Gee. Oh.
The budget wasn't big enough for little fish to swim through. Imagine that yourself, so
It looks, it's so similar, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I've been diving.
Down, so I understood that.
Oh, even the water flow of the lights. Well done.
That's beautiful nature.
Well, as well as coral, when I ask people what it looks like, some people say this stuff down the bottom looks like popcorn or corn on the cob. These ones look a bit like carrots.
Yeah, true.
This one looks like a cauliflower. And if you're still hungry after your corn, your carrot and your cauliflower, over this way, I've got some bacon. Now that's a good example of what's called a shawl formation. So what's happened there is the water, instead of dripping down from the ceiling, the water's come through that steep edge. So the water droplet runs down that edge till it finally stops and leaves its grain of crystal. What it also leaves is a wet track. So the next drop will follow in a wet track, leave its crystal, next drop will follow on that track, leave its crystal, so on and so on and so on, to get that really thin sheet of calcite forming called a shawl. It's about a centimetre thick. That's where you can see the light through it. Almost like stained glass or something. And what I find interesting, so the colours in that shawl, those stripes, come from tannins in leaves. So you know, when the rain comes through the leaves on the forest floor, picks up the tannin, brings the tannin into the cave and colours the shawl with tannin. So if you look at that edge closest to the wall, that's the edge that's formed first. That's really white. So it must have still been a sand dune up the top when that shawl began forming. Then we can actually look at the stripes in that shawl and see when there's been periods of light vegetation on the surface, periods of heavy vegetation, periods of like dense forest up on the surface, periods of light rainfall, heavy rainfall, periods of drought. We can even see evidence of bushfire in that shawl. And we've even found ancient pollen in that shawl from vegetation that's not even on the surface anymore. So as well as looking really beautiful, that shawl is a timeline of what the climate was like up on the surface over the last few 100,000 years.
Can you do a Jurassic Park
Not quite. I mean the movies. If you look up to the ceiling now, so from where we're standing up to the ceiling, it's just over 30 metres tall. So to put that in perspective for you, if you've been to Lewin Lighthouse, are you heading to Lewin Lighthouse? All covered in scaffolding at the moment. But that's also just over 39 metres tall. So in theory, Lewin Lighthouse actually fits inside the cave. So you're 30 metres of ceiling, and there's that 12 metres of ceiling on top, so 42 metres from the surface.
This looks like a wave about to break. And
Yeah, it's got a real underwater feel about this section, hasn't it? You can almost imagine crayfish hiding. Look at it.
But even when we flew over from Sydney and we looked at the plane and you see the surrounds out in the desert, it looks like there was an inland sea there. You can just see patterns
See all
and
the
it looks
water.
like fish and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You can see where Indigenous people got their ideas for the artwork.
Oh, definitely. So you start heading through that tunnel to the next platform, guys. You get a great view of that frozen waterfall on your left. Also, about halfway down, you go down about 3 steps. There's a light that's pointing straight up at the ceiling, and it'll show some little stalactites. And they've got those water droplets hanging there, just waiting for the crystal to form. So, yeah. And look at
Okay,
those
come on,
water
guys.
droplets if you're interested. And then
Wow. 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 Gee, it's beautiful. Be careful your head. Okay, be careful your head. Gee. Beautiful. Look at that.
That looks like great.
Wow. What a beautiful nature. Gift from God. Too dark there. I don't want to go there. Huge. It's the best place to hide, truly. Josh, what are you doing, Josh? Killing him, Josh. Gee, you hide here if there's a war. 100%.
No.
Alright?
Happens if they cook spider webs here.
See, where you sitting, darling? You're too tired.
Look at my eyes.
Sita is tired. You're a zombie girl. You didn't sleep last night. Hey, there's a snake that's gonna wake up. You wanna wake up the snake? Stop moving.
I don't see it.
Crazy boy.
You're crazy.
There are big cobra there. Look, big cobra. Big cobra, look. Big cobra. Get cool, Robert. It's a big cobra there.
What cobra?
Cobra is a big snake. It's a giant one.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I just see a cat.
This kid, real cool. Oh, magical. It's magic.
Magical.
We leave Robert here.
It's called Lake Chamber because it was a lake here when they first discovered the cave. That photo at the top of the Diamond Rafts. Usually it's
Look.
after that here. Some big formation, sort of big formation here, the organ parts. Another really old formation. Keep moving on, doesn't it? It doesn't work. We didn't actually use the raft to explore the cave doing tours. He just
What
brought
will
that
happen
raft
if my
down to
phone
take
fall over
photos.
there?
There's another photo of him
Cannot
with
pick it up.
Sailor's outfit and all that. Instagram, I think. Another good example of that phreatic shape of this cave. This way.
This is way nicer than the Yardship one.
This is the biggest one in Australia, I told you. What do you think it shows? In Australia, not just WA. The one we went in Yanchep is too small. Gee. Wow, what's that? Phew. Go, 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 go. Colin. We leave Colin here.
Bye, Colin.
Bye, Colin. Wow. Wow. This is the deepest one. The deepest part of it. Wow. What the heck? That's a billion years old. Yeah, billions.
These clubs on here, those ones called pendulates. Pendulum or pendulite. Those pendulates form when there is a lake in here. Sometimes the crystals will form on the water surface. Those crystals kind of join together, they're called a raft. Those rafts are threads, they find something to attach to. So those two straws must have been hidden on the surface and the crystals have started wrapping around there and more crystals growing on top of that. But those straws, they're about as brittle as a piece of dry spaghetti, so you can break them quite easily. So with an extra weight on the end, those pendulates are very, very fragile formations. So it also tells us there's been no earth movement in this area for a long period of time. Otherwise those pendulates would have definitely broken from a bit of vibration. But I don't know if you saw that big stalagmite on an angle on your way through. There's some stalagmites here on an angle. This flowstone's on an angle. Now that stuff can't grow on an angle, so that tells us that this piece of rock here has peeled away from the wall, it's knocked all that other stuff down. But obviously that rock slide happened long before these straws and pendulates formed, or they were definitely broken from that bit of vibration. Did you see these ones that come out sideways and kind of twist and curl in all different directions? Yeah, cool. They're called helictites. Yeah, there you go. What's happened there is the end of the straw's got blocked, so the water pressure builds up inside the straw. So there'll be a hole or a weak point on the side of the straw, so the water droplet will push through there, form a crystal. Next drop will push through that, form a crystal. So they start growing out sideways. Or some of them, I mean a good example there, look, there's one that's growing upwards. So that's one drop of water pushing another drop of water uphill. It's quite incredible.
Magical.
Really pretty part of the cave. You got your
It's magic,
pendulates,
isn't it, Donna?
straws, your
Yes, it
helictites,
is.
lots of coral growing on the side of the stalactites. Beautiful shawls.
It's not a
there.
man-made, Radha.
Nice shawls here. All these shawls here, the caramel shawls, got that caramel colour to them. And then that formation where my torch is now, we call that one Dumbledore.
Does, doesn't it?
Name some of them. All right, I'll let you guys lead the way to the next platform then. You've got to go up the stairs, through some tunnels, down some stairs, through some more tunnels. Keep going until you find the red glowing crystal. Then you know
Whoa.
the right spot. Look for the
Let's
platform.
look. Gee. Gee. Wow. 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 Beautiful. Just so beautiful. Magical. Magic. Wow. Colin, hold. Get the treasure. Quick. We get the treasure first. Careful your head. Head. This is the worst of the tall people. Worst part. Worst. Colin. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Colin's pushing me.
Colin, no pushing, love. Guys, you're fast. You're running. Get the treasure first. Dark. Dark. Where's the red thing? That's the one? I got it.
Had $1 million.
I got it. Quick, move. Charge. Do you have the power now? Hey, Robert, stop it. Can you feel the power? Gee. Dark. Is this the exit? Do we need to go there, son? No. Oh, this is the last. Oh my God. No. I think this is the last destination. Your final destination. Stop jumping. Not too dark.